need me to mute our microphone?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this very special edition of FestivalSouth Reimagined. We are so excited today because we're going to the zoo. We're a little late. We're sorry about that. I had to get everybody all organized. You know, we have all sorts of folks around here, except I'm not there, and maybe you're not there, but they are at the zoo. And we're going to visit with the folks at the zoo. So tell everybody you know, share that, and make sure your friends are all watching. And we'll be back at the zoo right after this.
And people stayed home and read books and listened and they rested and did exercises and made art and played and learned new ways of being and stopped and listened more deeply. Someone meditated, someone prayed, someone met their shadow, and people began to think differently, and people healed. And in the absence of people who lived in ignorant ways, dangerous, meaningless, and heartless, the earth also began to heal. And when the danger ended and people found themselves, they grieved for the dead and made new choices and dreamed of new visions and created new ways of living and completely healed the earth, just as they were healed.
Click on it, tag your friends, send us some comments. Right now we are going live to the Hattiesburg Zoo, and we are meeting Matt Fripp. Matt, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Hey, how's it going? My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Where are we in the zoo right now?
So right now we are in the beginning of the South America section of the zoo. So if any of you guys are familiar with the Hattiesburg Zoo, basically we've left the wallaby area where Kevin the Kuni pig is, and the emu and the wallabies, and we're coming down and we're actually right in front of the Jaguar Exhibit. So I thought we'd take a little stroll through South America and try and find some of the animals, and then talk a little bit about it. And then if you guys have any questions, we can open it up for some questions.
Great. Once again, this is Matt Fripp at the Hattiesburg Zoo. Take it away.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. It's great to have you here at the zoo in one form or another. We did just open up on Friday, so we're getting back in the swing of things, and everybody seems to be really excited to be coming back to the zoo. But we're going to walk around, like I said, our South America area and kind of point out some animals. It's going to be a little challenging because they're all hiding right now because it's really hot. But we'll see if we can find them. So first of all, we're at our Jaguar exhibit, and if you guys can see the tire that's attached to that tree, if you look behind the tree up on the ledge, you can see Maya. Can you guys, can you see her? Mike, nod if you can see her. Yeah. She's way back in there. Yeah, she's really, really hard to find, and she only weighs 100 pounds, but that's how jaguars catch their food, is they're like the ultimate stealth predator. So she hides in these bushes, and she literally can be like 3 feet away from you, and you can't see her. And that's super cool, but it's also super scary. Because if you imagine that you were a prey item for a jaguar, you wouldn't know what hit you. But Maya, she's 17 years old, so that makes her fairly old for a Jaguar. In zoos, they live to about 20, so she's definitely on the older end. But she just did have her physical last week, and she's actually in really, really good health.
How long has she been?
All the animals that we have here at the zoo, they get a physical every year. Some of the animals are trained to voluntarily participate in that physical, meaning that they'll stand on a scale when we ask them to, or they'll present one of their body parts so we can take a blood sample. But obviously for an animal like a jaguar that is a very dangerous animal, we have to sedate them, use some anesthesia, so we can do it safely. So that's what we did. We sedated her here, and then we took her back to our hospital, which is behind the scenes. We did some x-rays. She got her teeth cleaned. We took some blood samples. We looked in her eyes and her ears. And she's actually in really, really good health. So we're very, very pleased and happy with that.
So how long has she been at the Hattiesburg Zoo?
100 pounds.
I don't know if you can hear me. I was saying, how long has she been at the Hattiesburg Zoo?
Oh, she's been here at the Hattiesburg Zoo for about 4 years now. We did have another Jaguar that was here before, but then we moved that animal to another zoo, and we brought Maya in. We're going to talk a little bit more about how zoos cooperate to maintain the health of populations in a little bit. But like I was saying, she only eats about a pound of food every single day. And her diet consists of, it's almost like a hamburger, but it's ground up horse meat, and it has all the bones and organs and all that stuff that's ground up. So it gives her all of the necessary vitamins and minerals and all the good stuff that she needs. And then once a week she'll get a bone. It might be a tailbone or a knuckle bone or something for her to chew on as well.
Wow, everybody eating lunch right now. Just enjoy yourself. Have fun with that.
Yeah, exactly. And I said it looks like hamburger, but it doesn't smell like hamburger. I'll tell you that now. Yeah, it definitely will change your appetite if you're not careful.
So what's nearby? What else is there?
So so if we keep walking, we're going to come in here and we'll actually get up close to one of my favorite animals here. This is Jessica, and she is a southern black howler monkey. Now, she's a black howler monkey, but she's brown. The females of howler monkeys are brown. The males are black. And this is her. She loves to be scratched. She loves watching people. One of her favorite things is just to hang out on the guest side of the exhibit, close to the guests, and just watch people. Now, you might think she's turning her back to me. She is technically, but she likes to be scratched right there on her back. So she's like, scratch me there, because that's my favorite place to be scratched. She also just had her physical the other day as well, and she's one of the ones that she's very good at participating in her own health care. So we were able to take blood samples. She'll just stick her arm out through the fence, and just like you or I get a blood sample taken at the doctor's office, that's what we do with her. I'm going to scoot around here and see if we can see her face. Jessica, come take a look. And probably one of the things that howler monkeys are most well known for, now she wants her belly scratched. Look, she's like, scratch my belly, scratch my belly. Howler monkeys, they're known for that real deep, kind of visceral noise that they make, that they communicate with each other in the jungle. And she's usually pretty quiet, except when have the leaf blower around here cleaning up the guest walkway. That's when she's really going to make that howler monkey noise. But you guys can see her toenails, right? Look at her feet. You guys never get that close to a howler monkey, huh? So that's pretty cool. And then her tail right here. This is a prehensile tail, meaning that it's almost like another appendage, right? As she's moving through the jungle or here in the exhibit, she's going to use that tail to help kind of brace herself and keep herself from falling down. So she's a super, super cool, fun animal.
Now, are there any other monkeys with her? Is she by herself there?
She has a few other animals in here. If you look way towards the back, we've got a couple of blue and gold macaws. They're hiding up in the palm tree over there. There's a couple of scarlet ibis that are over on the ground. There's a small little antelope called a diker, a blue diker. And I'm going to see... No, I can't get through there because of the bushes. And then there's a little rodent over there. Not so little. It's a red-rumped agouti. It's another rodent that lives... No, you can't have the computer. I know you want to. She's trying to steal the computer from me. Oh, look at her mouth. Look at that. That's so cool.
You've frozen for a minute, I think.
Uh-oh.
There we go. There we go.
Are we back?
Yes.
You're just in time for... She's getting a little sassy. She got a little bit of an attitude to her sometimes, and she'll reach through and try and grab you and pinch you if you're not paying attention. So, hello, look at you. Oh, she's hanging upside down by that tail. So she's got a few other different species of animals in here. She did have a male. We had a male howler monkey here. He died back in August. He was really, really old. So it was his time. But we're actually trying to get her another companion, another friend, because it's important for these guys to be with animals of their own kind. So we're working with some other zoos to try and get another howler monkey here. She's just being a little sassy pants.
Too cool.
Yeah, so that's Jessica, our black howler monkey. See you later. All right, let's get going. Walk down the path here, and Amanda will lock up behind us. Let's see if we can show you guys the macaws a little bit closer. There they are.
So Matt, as we're going this way, do you have a favorite? Like, is there something? I know you got to love animals to do this. You have to love all things. But I mean, do you have a favorite?
Do I have a favorite animal here at the zoo?
You might say that very quietly because no others hear you. So just say it very quietly, So
yeah. Actually, this is probably my favorite guy right here. Can you see him? That's Soldado. He's a giant anteater.
How cool is that?
Can you see him?
Yes.
Yeah, super cool. He's just a really, really cool looking animal. He's got a pretty cool personality. He's real chill. Likes to just kind of hang out. We don't go in there with him because he can be pretty dangerous. But he's just a really neat animal. As the name implies, anteater, these guys will eat ants and termites. In fact, if we were able to see, and you can see he's kind of rummaging around through the ground right now, right? He's foraging, looking for bugs.
Scoot over just a little bit more and we can see him. Scoot over just a little bit more. There you go.
There you guys see him now?
Yeah.
On his front feet, he's got some really, really sharp claws, and they use those claws to rip open like termite mounds. So that's why we don't go in there with him. Any type of interaction we do with him is there has to be a barrier in between us because of those claws. But the other thing that is unique about him, I'm going to scoot on the other side of this trash can, is their tongue. So their tongue's about 2 feet long, and it's really sticky. So once they rip open that termite mound or an anthill, they stick their tongue in there, and the ants or termites get stuck on their tongue, and that's how they eat. And what you can do is you can actually take some of his food, his diet, and put it in your hand, and he'll like lick it out of your hand, and then your hand's really sticky. But you can see him, look, he's using his claws to dig in the dirt, looking for bugs. We just had a lot of rain here over the last few days, so all the bugs and stuff are coming out. So he's
very happy
really
guy. Yeah, he's a happy guy right now for this.
So getting back to my favorite animals, he's probably one of my favorites that are here, if not the favorite. But like I said, I've only been here since November, and so I'm still getting to know all the animals. I do have one of the animals that's actually living in my house right now. We rescued a baby opossum, and I don't know if you follow the Hattiesburg Zoo on Facebook or Instagram.
I keep up with Olive, and I told you I think you have one of the best jobs in the world if you got to take Olive home.
So, yeah, super fun, super cool. We're raising her. We're teaching her to be comfortable with people. She's going to be one of our ambassador animals. So she'll be an animal that we're able to walk around the park with or take to schools and educate kids and talk to them about the importance of native wildlife here in Mississippi. So not just animals like a giant anteater or a howler monkey, but the animals that live locally with us and why they're important to keep around. So she's really cool. So she'll be here at the zoo one day when I decide to let her go. So this guy making all the noise, can you guys see him?
Yep,
His
there we
name
go.
is Skittles. He's a crested screamer, as the name implies. And they're very, very territorial. So he thinks that this whole yard that he lives in is his. And anytime he sees a person, that's his way of telling them, hey, get out of here. This is my area. And the way that they protect their territory is on their wings, they have spurs. So they're like little hooks on the end of their wings, and they smack you and hit you, try and hit you with their wings. And those spurs are super sharp. So that's how they protect their territory. And when you're a new zookeeper here and you start working in this area, Skittles has to kind of get to know you. So at first he's very, very, very aggressive, and he'll come and chase you around. But as he gets to know you and becomes familiar with you, he kind of mellows out, and he'll even sit in the laps of some of the keepers. But because I don't work a lot with him, he thinks I'm like public enemy number one. So we're gonna let that guy go. But we have a few other animals that live here in the. This is our South American yard. You guys can look across underneath the shade area over there. Those are our two alpacas. The white one is Evie, and brown one is Tech. Alpacas are found in South America. Up in the higher elevations is where they like to live. And those guys are super, super fun, super friendly. They'll come up to you and eat hay out of your hands. They got a haircut about a month ago, so that's why they look
I was going to say,
naked.
They look pretty thin from what I recognize as alpacas.
Yeah, except their barber wasn't really good because he left a bunch on the top of their head. That was the staff that did it. They gave him that haircut. I was off that day. I would have made him clean him up.
It's called a high and tight. That's really stylish.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
All right. But yeah, those guys, those alpaca are pretty fun. We have a tapir in here, and I think he's hiding. I think he's hiding in the shade because it's so warm. But you can see they got a pool here. Tapirs. They like to swim. They're found along the rivers in South America in the jungles, and they eat the bushes and the vegetation that grows along the river. So it's important that they have a pool. But one of the cool features about this exhibit is that these stairs right here, underneath, they go underneath the boardwalk that I'm on, and they actually come out into this exhibit. So the tapirs and the capybara that we have, which is a large rodent, they also love the water. They can come over here and they can swim around. In this exhibit, they'll go hang out on the land up there with some of the waterfowl. So this is kind of a dynamic aspect of the
Watch out, Matt. I think you covered your microphone. There you go.
So that's it for the animals here in South America. Does anybody have any questions out there?
Not specifically. I do too. I know this may not be to South America, but anybody who's driven by the zoo is all asking the same question. That amazing structure on the front of the zoo. Some people know, if you're from here, you know what it's about because the signage tells you what it's about. Tell us what the big thing on the front of the zoo is and what our timeline is on that at this point.
Yeah, so that big building you mentioned that I've only been here since November, that's actually my office, that whole complex.
Congratulations.
No, I'm just kidding.
Congratulations. I'm sure Rick Taylor has something equally as nice somewhere, maybe very small in the side of that. So, and Amanda too, you know.
Yeah. No, that's our new giraffe exhibit. So hopefully sooner rather than later. So we're looking at late summer, early fall. We're going to get a couple of male giraffe from a facility called the Wilds, which is up in Ohio. It's an affiliate of the Columbus Zoo, which is a world-renowned zoo. They're going to send down a couple of their young male giraffe to live here. So that's what's going to be in that exhibit. And like I said, hopefully early fall is when those guys are going to come down here. So if you're in the area or if you live in the region, definitely come on by and come see the giraffe when we get them. People are going to be able to feed the giraffe. We have a feeding area, 18 feet high in the air, a beautiful deck that overlooks the exhibit and the zoo, and you can actually feed the giraffe from there. So super cool, super fun.
So I see people saying my boys are so excited for this, but also a question that came in earlier and it went by. Do the animals or some of the animals miss us as much as we sort of miss getting to go see them?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Jessica, like I was showing you guys before, when people weren't here, like I told you, she loves to just sit and watch the people go by, and she'll follow people. When the zoo was shut down and just we were here taking care of the animals, she was definitely missing the animals, or the people, rather. The other funny one is the goats and the sheep in the petting zoo, right? Because they're used to having people go in there all day with them and pet them and feed them, and they just sit around, and every time you went by, they'd look at you like, are you going to come in and play with me? And yeah, so the animals definitely did. They noticed the change, that, people weren't around.
So tell me what, for people who are watching now or people who will watch this later, so what are sort of, at this moment in time, what are the zoo availability? When can we come to the zoo and the hours and such?
The zoo is open, our usual schedule, so Tuesday through Sunday. We're closed on Mondays. We open at 10 to 4 are hours right now. And right now we are allowing 50% capacity to come in the zoo. So you can either buy tickets online, which will kind of book you for a time slot of a few hours, or you can walk up and buy tickets at the ticket booth and come in. And as you can see, we're right over by our Safari Grill restaurant. We got a pretty good sized crowd for a Wednesday. I don't even know what day of the week it is.
Understand.
Yeah. Face masks, we encourage everyone to wear face masks and follow the CDC guidelines and the Hattiesburg guidelines. We're not enforcing them, but like I said, we strongly encourage everyone to wear them. All the zoo employees wear them whenever we are in the public area. I know I'm not wearing one right now, but I'm talking to you guys. But when we are talking with guests, we are wearing face masks as well, and we want to just ensure that everybody that comes to the zoo feels comfortable and has a safe, enjoyable time here.
Well, we want to thank you so very much for being here today. If you were just joining us, we're at the Hattiesburg Zoo with Matt Fripp, and we want to thank Rick Taylor for making this possible, initiating it also with Amanda Hargrove. You guys do such an amazing job. I love the zoo. I love coming to the zoo, and we have, with Festival South, have always had at least an event at the zoo, and we're trying to do even more. I can't tell you how excited I am for giraffes, and that's beautiful structure there. And I think the zoo is really one of Hattiesburg's calling cards. It's so unusual, it's so well done, and if you haven't been to the zoo, maybe that's the outing you need if you're sitting at home right now. And find a day like earlier in the week when you can get there possibly and do that. The weekends a lot of people are getting out and doing things, but if you're scared of crowds, I think that might be a place to go out and just get a walk in and enjoy the zoo. Guys, we thank you so much for being with us today, and can't wait to get there myself and see even more. I want to meet Olive too one day, I'm just going to say.
Well, we'll let everyone know when she's a permanent resident of the zoo. But you're going to have to put up a good fight with my wife and my little daughter.
Well,
huge Olive fans.
Thank you guys so very much for being with us today. Y'all have a great rest of the day and great week.
Bye-bye, you guys. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
And thank you so very much for being with us for this very special edition. As we went to the zoo, I really do encourage you to get out. Wear your mask, take your time, stay distant from somebody, but go pet an animal. Go tell that monkey hello. She needs some love, I think. It's been a while. Thank you so much for being with us again. We'll be back up tomorrow night, Thursday night at 7:30. an amazing lineup planned for you. Until then, take care.